In ancient times, the gates separating humans and demons were opened. Emo demons rumbled into our world, and chaos swept the planet. The great ancestor revealed his power to all and created a special sign, then sealed Emo. In time, the predecessor fell into eternal sleep, and the demons were able to break his seal and began to search for his sign to reopen the gate between the worlds. The humans, realizing the danger, joined clans and also began to search for the mark of the ancestor and a man who could possess the same power. Meanwhile, a crowd of people run to the grandstand to place bets and watch the fight in the middle of the arena. Young and determined, Lindong fights a huge and strong enemy. Steadfastly enduring blows, the guy provokes his opponent and tries to strike back. Lindong's sister actively supports him, believing that his brother can win. Lin Langtian, who organized the fight, is closely watching the girl and the guy in the ring, hoping that he will lose. The young fighter tries his best to crush his enemy, but the fat man is not afraid of his punches and backs the guy into a corner. Using his agility, Lindong runs around a lot as he suddenly hits his opponent in the head. As it turned out, all this time he was looking for the enemy's weaknesses and, having found them, he knocked out the fat man in 2 moves. After winning, his sister asks his brother to stop fighting in the ring, but he can get triple the reward for the next victory. Langtian is not satisfied and demands another round, for which he will reward Lindong and pay 20 times the promised amount. The guy accepts the challenge and agrees to one more fight, just as he suddenly learns that his opponent will be a fire tiger serpent. While his sister goes to collect the prize money, the guy tries to find a weapon to overpower the wild beast. He fails to pull a sharp wooden stake out of the wall, and armed guards do not allow him to leave the ring, fleeing from the tiger snake in shame. Lindong tries to use his youth and speed to escape from the predator, but the fiery monster catches up with him again and again. Realizing that he can't be defeated by force, the boy asks the tiger serpent to give in to him, as they both work for the amusement of the audience and the arena owner. They are prisoners and slaves to their fate, but now everything can be changed by arranging a negotiated fight. The fire tiger attacks the guy and is about to tear him apart with its paw, but Lindong doesn't give up. He tries to bribe the predator by offering him chicken, beef, and then forest demons for dinner. The tiger snake lowers his paw and notices the blackened clouds soaked with demons. Agreeing to Lindong's terms, the predator is allowed to strike, after which he falls and feigns defeat. After that, the arena is filled with chaos of people trying to steal the money they lost. Lindong and his sister take the winnings, leaving the arena before Langtian notices. The fight organizer realizes that he feels sympathy for his brother's sister and asks to know more about her. Meanwhile, Lindong goes to the healer's office to get some medicine and suddenly notices the charming Kinju, the mysterious girl he fell in love with at first sight. Despite disagreements and rivalries, the clans seeking the heir of the ancestor join forces to fight the demons. Kinju wanders into the forest, where she encounters several Emo. Using a magic blade, the girl deals with the demons without much difficulty, and realizes that this is only the beginning of the war. Meanwhile, her younger sister Huan has nightmarish dreams and realizes she must help Kinju. After stealing a pair of ice blades from her older brother and father, the girl runs off to find her older sister. Lindong comes to a healer and asks to sell a cure for his father, but the healer notices that the guy wants to pay with the Lei family's stones. Suspecting that he stole them, the seller informs the head of the powerful family. Soon Lindong is accused of stealing, but the boy claims that he earned the gems honestly by winning in battle. He resents the actions of the head of the Lei family because the elder knows that his father was treated unfairly. Lindong's father was once a great fighter, but the despicable Langtian injured him, causing the man to become seriously ill. Now the boy's father comes to the meeting to punish him and take him home. On the way, Lindong considers himself a fighter no warsa and asks to teach him a lesson. The father uses special techniques, which allows him to win without even touching his opponent. Lindong continues to provoke his father, but the latter, gathering his strength, faints. A little later, he asks his son if the people of the Lei family recognize him, and the boy answers uncertainly, assuming that no one has any idea who he really is. Also, the father asks Lindong not to get into arguments with the Lei family and to stay away from Langtian as he is unsafe and a threat to their family. A little later, when the children leave, the sick man tries to use magic to control the stone, but he fails as he is too weak. Lindong is enraged at his helplessness and practices outside, taking out his anger on wooden devices to hone his blows. After some thought, Lindong comes up with a simple and ingenious plan to capture a forest demon and feed it to a fiery tiger snake to become his ally and help him defeat the evil Lei and Langtian clan who humiliated his father and made him a sickly cripple. Venturing into the forest, Lindong hunts a forest demon and attracts it with different sounds. Once the creepy, small-sized monster gets trapped, the guy tries to tackle it, but the pig-like animal hides in the bushes. Hurrying after it, Lindong encounters the charming Kinju and completely forgets about the hunt. The girl loses the magic pouch but protects the forest demon, preventing it from being used as fodder for the fire tiger snake. In the morning, Kinju returns to the forest to find the missing pouch, unaware that it has been taken by Lindong, who dreams of a new encounter with the beautiful woman. Soon Langtian arrives at the home of a poor family and threatens the father, asking for his daughter's hand in marriage. Sao flatly refuses, but Langtian beats and humiliates him, and outraged Lindong punishes the insolent man, but is unable to deal with the powerful Langtian. The men use a lightning strike to punish the guy for his insolence and decides to deliver a devastating blow. The discharge of ball lightning stops and flies into its creator, but it is not the merit of Lindong, but his cousin, guarding the upper gate. Lantian arrives to discover the emo demons and destroy them. Chintan ends the arguments between the men by agreeing to become Langtian's wife, but only on the condition that he obtains a healing cure for her father. Lindong tries to prevent this, but Langtian is forced to accept the new reality and stops the cousin. Realizing that a guy with a complicated temper won't back down, the gate guard ties him with a magic rope to a tree and communicates with Lindong's father. A little later, Lantian and Kinju meet, realizing that they share a common goal. The warriors agree to act together to destroy the demons and protect the world from their insidiousness. Soon, a small woman tells Kinju where the Lin family home is, standing on hundreds of demonic souls. Once the enchantment is gone, Lindong goes after his sister to prevent her from becoming Langtian's wife. In the morning, Huan tries to learn useful information and gives out gems to people, but instead, listens to tales and tall tales, realizing that their stories are of no value. Kinju scoffs at Huan's primitive methods of finding out information and heads to Langtian's house. Lindong also goes there and notices that one of the guards has the healing remedy his father needs. Pretending to be a servant, he sneaks into the house. Meanwhile, the wealthy gentleman's assistant is possessed by a demon, after which he is sent to a cage with a fiery tiger snake. As soon as the man's name is called, Lindong, who has heard the predator's roar, approaches his cage. The guy tries to feed a fire tiger snake, but it refuses a piece of fresh meat and reacts aggressively to an old acquaintance. Lindong realizes that the reason is a broken promise. He tells the story that he was hunting a forest demon but missed it because of a meeting with a charming girl. The tiger snake is sympathetic to the young lad's situation and accepts food from his hands. Remembering the purpose of his arrival, Lindong goes upstairs, but before he leaves, he lets the predator loose. Kinju and Lantian make their way to Langtian's house to hunt the demon Emo and send him back to hell. A persistent Huan pursues them, trying to outdo her sister, but the gate closes in front of her. While the girl tries to find a way into the Lin family's territory, Langtian is having fun with his future wife. After luring Qingtan into the arena, the man threatens her with his weapon, then forces the girl to defend herself using her unique abilities. As soon as she begins to freeze, Langtian tries to make love to her, but the process is hindered by a servant who announces the arrival of Qingju and Lantian. The owner of the house treats the guests with distrust and surrounds them with guards in order to take their lives and keep the family's secrets secret. This is thwarted by a fiery tiger snake that decides to attack the man who caged it. Langtian escapes and punishes the guards for the predator's escape by ordering them to capture it. Meanwhile, Lindong finds his sister lying in the middle of the arena and suggests she escape from the castle. They try to climb up using sharp wooden stakes, but Langtian notices the brother and sister. Preventing them from escaping, he steps on the guy's arm, causing him to fall. The sister doesn't want to get married and also jumps down, realizing that they can't get out of here. Grateful for his rescue, the tiger snake comes down to the arena and helps Lindong and his sister to get out. Chintan and Lindong escape, and Lantian sends his demon-possessed servant to catch them. Qingju and Lantian realize that the pursuer is Emo and rush after him. Huan witnesses this and assumes the demon is Lindong. The brother and sister try to hide in the forest from a servant who uses a lightning discharge to attack them. Lantian uses magic to apprehend the demon, but is unsuccessful as he is afraid of hurting his relatives. Huan interferes with Qinyu and wants to prove that she is ready to destroy demons. The tiger snack escapes, but finds himself on the edge of a precipice and decides to return to Lindong to bring his life down again. The possessed servant pounces on the sibling, but the predator stops him. Lan Tian again uses magic to captivate Imo, but he manages to vaporize, leaving behind only the servant's body. Lindong explains to the tiger that he is now free and can leave to start a life in the wild. They will always be friends, but they can't be around each other forever, so now it's best for them to go their separate ways. Huan attacks Lindong and stuns him, then realizes that she was wrong and he is not a demon. After waking up, the guy shows his affection for Qinju by hugging the beauty's leg tightly. Lang Tian decides to turn to his older brother, but prevents him from increasing his self-development. He enlists a security guard to do so, and the guard becomes an accidental victim of the first junior master's anger. Lan Tian and Qinju tell Lang Tian's brother that there was an emo demon in their house, which they exorcise. Moreover, the marriage of the second junior master and Qingtan was a plan to capture the demon, so now the pact is annulled. Lang Tian disagrees, but his older brother respects his guests and makes concessions by letting Lindong and his sister go. On the way home, Lindong shows sympathy for the charming Qinju but acts too brazenly, so the girl promises to rip out his tongue if he says something stupid again. Lan Tian asks his cousin to think with his head, causing them to have a conflict. Lindong pounces on him with fists, but he turns out to be too weak an opponent who has not mastered the arts of the warrior universe. When he returns home, he trains hard, but his father laughs at his pathetic efforts and shows him how to fight. At night, Lindong and Qingtan go into the forest to dig up a servant's grave and find a healing stone that can cure their father. Noticing Qinju approaching them, the brother and sister hide behind a tree and realize they are not alone. After noticing Huan nearby, Lindong and Qingtan decide to return home to give the healing stone to their father. Acting cautiously, the brother and sister hide in a cave and mimic the timid girl. Meanwhile, Qinju and Lan Tian examine the dead servant's body and find a mark on his neck left by a demon. They realize that Imo escaped not because he was afraid of their power, but because of his encounter with Qingtan, who has the gift of freezing. The frightened brother and sister explore the cave and are skeptical of the demon's existence, but decide to find it if it is hiding somewhere nearby. Qinju and Lan Tian look around the forest for Imo, realizing that the demon is weak and hiding somewhere nearby. The brother and sister explore the cave, but at some point, the guy starts bleeding. Qingtan gets very scared and starts to freeze because of the poison in the blood. The owner of the house treats the guests with distrust and surrounds them with guards in order to take their lives and keep the family secrets secret. This is thwarted by a fiery tiger snake that decides to attack the man who caged it. Lang Tian escapes and punishes the guards for the predator's escape by ordering them to capture it. Meanwhile, Lindong finds his sister lying in the middle of the arena and suggests she escape from the castle. They try to climb up using sharp wooden stakes, but Lang Tian notices the brother and sister. Preventing them from escaping, he steps on the guy's arm, causing him to fall. The sister doesn't want to get married and also jumps down. His sister realizes that his brother has mastered a new fighting technique and congratulates him on his martial arts development. At the same instant, Lindong notices that the wound on his arm has healed, as if someone or something is helping him. Lan Tian and Qinju become prisoners of the dark energy that has created an impenetrable dome around them. In the morning, Lindong and Qingtan make their way out of the forest and head home. The brother asks his sister not to tell anyone about the talisman stone that gives him power, as it could be dangerous. Lang Tian and his servants, who were hiding nearby, decide to attack the brother and sister to avenge the humiliation and shame they experienced. The second junior master directs the servants at Lindong, but he causes them to fall to the ground with just one magical movement. Sensing his new power, the boy challenges Lang Tian, but he knocks the stone out of his hands, rendering Lindong weak and defenseless. Using the power of lightning, the second junior master takes away the guy's healing stone for his father and destroys it. Qingtan puts the stone in his brother's hands, allowing him to regain his strength. Meanwhile, the demon Imo takes possession of Lang Tian's body, causing the man to become possessed. The brother and sister run away while the servants try to stop the demon. Huan witnesses Lang Tian handling a dozen warriors, and also hides in the forest, suggesting that Lin Dong might be the demon's accomplice. The girl captures the boy and his sister by surrounding them with sharp icicles. Huan feels uncomfortable with Lin Dong's attempts to charm her and leaves. Realizing that they could be stuck here forever, Qingtan pretends to be sick to push her feelings of pity. Huan frees her brother and sister by falling into their trap, after which Lin Dong uses a talisman stone and the girl passes out. In the morning, Qinju realizes that a pinprick can destroy the dome of dark energy. Plucking out a hair, she charges it with magic and pierces the sphere, destroying the demonic spell. Upon returning home, Lin Dong tries to test the stone to see what it can do. Soon, the old sage Yang and his young assistant appear on his doorstep. The old man knows that Lin Dong has the talisman stone and offers a generous reward for its sale. The boy agrees, but lures Yang and his assistant into a trap, as he doesn't trust strangers. Becoming more and more familiar with the stone, Lin Dong studies the records seized from the sage and realizes that they are connected. The talisman reveals a new power, and the boy assumes it can heal his poisoned sister and ailing father. Meanwhile, Qinju and Lan Tian find a massacre site where several servants are lying. One of them, before falling into eternal sleep, reports that Lang Tian is possessed by a demon. At the same time, Lin Dong's father returns home and spots the first junior master heading towards his house with armed guards. Rushing to the house faster than the enemies, the father asks his son and daughter to hide as soon as possible. The first junior master approaches the family's dwelling and uses lightning to damage the house and force its occupants outside. The man searches for his younger brother Lang Tian and assumes that Lin Dong is involved in his disappearance. The elder does not protect the family as the crippled father and his children have been banished from the clan. Lan Tian defends his cousin, but the first junior master continues to press his case, hoping to track down Lang Tian and avenge the harm done to his soldiers. A man decides to test Lin Dong's abilities and beats him up. At one point, the guy uses a talisman stone for protection and reveals an incredible power, shocking everyone present. The first junior master threatens Lin Dong's family, but the guy is ready to prove his innocence. To do so, he will travel to a dense forest and meet a black panther to retrieve a stone capable of resurrecting people. Soon the guy with his hands tied is in the jungle and preparing for the trial. Lan Tian is unable to accompany him, but gives his cousin a special steel knife. Old Man Yang and his assistant meet Lin Dong's father and convince him that the boy is capable of many things, as he is the heir of the ancestor. Realizing that he needs help, the sage finds Huan in the forest and helps her to wake up. The girl, secretly in love with the smug guy, goes into the jungle to rescue him and then avenge his deception. Qinju and Lan Tian decide to use Qingtan's poisonous power to capture and neutralize the demon Emo. Huan searches for Lin Dong in the jungle as the pair are suddenly attacked by the possessed Lang Tian. The girl uses ice blades to scare the demon away, after which the pair sets off to the lair of the panther, the wildest and most dangerous animal capable of taking the life of anyone who dares to approach it. On the way, the girl hurts her leg and asks Lin Dong for help, as a result of which the guy carries her in his arms. The panther, sensing the approach of uninvited guests, emerges from the cave and prepares for battle. Meanwhile, Lan Tian and Qinju corner the possessed Lang Tian and use magical power to keep him in a circle. Qingtian uses chilling power to drive the demon out of him, after which Lan Tian asks to watch over the first junior master's brother. He is willing to do anything to save Lin Dong and also goes to the jungle. Meanwhile, the first junior master orders the release of the demonic creatures held in cages to take the lives of Lin Dong and his family. Huan and Lin Dong continue their journey to the Panther Cave, but decide to stop to rest. After learning that the girl has a cure for her wounds, the sympathetic guy treats her leg. A little later, he goes hunting and prepares lunch so that Huang will be full of energy to fight the wild predator. At some point, the stone is activated and a marten appears. A demon that transforms into a man and an animal informs him that the talisman belongs to him. He kidnaps it and, afraid of Lin Dong, tries to escape. Huan uses icicles to apprehend the demon and return the talisman to Lin Dong. Thank you for watching. Please let us know to continue the episodes. Write any comments below so we know you want. Thanks for likes and subscriptions. See you soon.